This is the Casio 991. I'm going to go over some basic things with you on this. If you hit the on button, this will turn it on. And I want you to see what it'll do with fractions. If you hit 4, and then the fraction key, and then 6, and then you have to hit the right arrow button up here. Okay, and you see the cursor turns big. Then I go plus, and my next fraction is 3 over 27, so I'm going to go 3, hit the over key, 27, and once I've got that, I don't have to hit the arrow key, I just hit the equals key, and what it does for you, it converts into this lowest common denominator, and that happens to be 9 in this case. You get 7/9 for your answer. Now, if you want to see this, hit your SD key. This is the one above delete, SD. I don't know what the S and the D really stand for, D for decimal. We'll change it to decimal, and then hit it again. We'll change it back to fraction. Now, I'm going to show you by putting in 27 over 81. Okay, here we go. 27, 2, 7, hit my fraction key, over 81, and then I hit equals. And you can see, it reduces as lowest form. 27 goes into 81 exactly 3 times. So it's kind of handy. Again, if you need the decimal, there it is. And I hit the SD key and it goes back to this. Now, I'm going to do 16 over 3. Okay? So I type in 1, 6, and then my fraction key, and then 3. Hit equals. Okay. Now I just did that so you can see what it looks like. If you want to convert it to a decimal, hit your SD key. If you want to convert it to a proper fraction, hit Shift. When you hit Shift, you'll see this little S up here. If you don't see the S, it means you didn't hit the button far enough. Mine is sticky, so you hit Shift, then hit your SD key again. And there you get a proper fraction. Okay, so it can turn any improper fraction into a proper fraction. If I hit it again and again, it goes back to the improper fraction. But I won't need it because actually it's up here on the screen. Okay, I'm going to show you another thing it does for you automatically. I'm going to type in 2 over, and I'm going to use the square root symbol right here. This is for regular square roots. And 3, so I hit the 3 key, and then I hit equals. Now, that's what's called rationalizing the denominator. In any math class, they always want you to do that. They do not want a square root or any root on the bottom. So you have to multiply top and bottom by the same root, and that's what you end up with. And it does it for you automatically. And of course, again, if you want to see what this is in a decimal form, just hit your SD key, and you can get the decimal, and then you go back to this. Okay, as you can see, you've got keys for square root, and if you shift it, it gives you cube root. For the squares, and if you hit Shift first, you get the cube root. And you've got x raised to any power, you just have to type it in, and then above that, any root of x. Okay, you've got quite a few other functions over here. We'll get into some other time. And the sine, cosine, and tangent function we'll get in another time. But another thing about this is putting in negative numbers. Now, this is the one that puts a negative in front of it. But it doesn't matter with this one. If you use the minus key in front of a number, it works the same. It doesn't give you any error like some calculators do. Okay, so here's the really neat thing I like about it, and they still have this function on it. Type in 540. And this is a funny thing about this factorial. You have to hit the enter key first. Okay, hit the enter key, so I have 540 at the bottom. Now hit Shift. Make sure you see the S there, and then hit this funny one, degrees, minutes, and seconds. It's got FACT above it, fact. That's for factorial. And when it comes up, it tells you it's 2 twice, 2 times 2. 3 happens to be 3 times, 3 times 3 times 3, and 5 once. Those are the factors. the number in the upper right just tells how many times it's repeated, of course, you know. Just like 2 squared would be 2 times 2. 3 to the third power, 3 times 3 times 3. And I happen to pick those, and normally it's not that way for other numbers. It wouldn't come up necessarily reflecting like that, actually the same. Now, I want to show you what happens. Here's a neat thing for me, 541. Now, when I hit the equals key, and then I go shift, and then I hit this factorial key, nothing happens. The reason is that's a prime number. There are no factors other than 541 and 1. So this saves you a lot of time messing around trying to divide by 2, that fails. You try to divide by 3, that fails. Try to divide by 5, that fails. You try to divide by 7, that fails. And you waste a lot of time doing it. This tells you right away that's a prime number. Okay, this is all I'm going to show you this time, and you can go ahead and play around with it. And if you really want to know, I'll make another video for you. I'll show you in person how the rest of the features work on this.